Okay, so this is white with a red splash aggro. And normally when you splash into decks and Magic, you splash for things higher on the curve, but this build is actually splashing for powerful one-drops, which I think is a really neat thing to do, because if you look at just the one-drops inside of mono white, they really struggle to be powerful and competitive. So this card especially, I think, is super strong. Like, it deals the damage on one, it makes one of our 8 2-drops really good when you play them on 2, and then it flips over into an attacker that's pretty reasonable. Past just these 1-drops, the red splash also gives us access to what's easily the most aggressive of the creature lands in the format in Den of the Bugbear. Out of the sideboard 2 for best of 3 gamers, Showdown of the Skalds is also another powerful thing we get access to in terms of 4-mana spells that help us go long and also apply pressure. Yeah, I think the core of this deck is super reasonable for sure. You get to play good disruptive 3-drops, other things that beat down. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches with this one and see how it goes. As a quick shill at the beginning here for the YouTube video, if you are someone who enjoys my content and want an easy way to support it, today's segments are sponsored by Dark Nemesis on mobile. If you check that out using my link on Android or iOS and play through to level 10, you get a free sub gift to my channel. Just DM me a screenshot of your account at level 10 and your Twitch name, and I will get that hooked up for you. So if you're someone that enjoys my stuff and hasn't had the means to sub directly, that's a great proxy way to do it through the end of the week. We'll be playing a bit of that game at the end of the stream today. Second since we played Standard. We did a bunch of Alchemy last week with the new card drop. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yes, you need to download the game through the link in order for it to count for my ticker. Yes, the QR code is also another way to grab the link. So if you just scan that off the screen with your phone, it'll take you to the Play Store. Or the whatever iOS equivalent of that is. Shambling Gas into Thalia is a little annoying, but I think we still play her out, keep them off of Dispute this turn. They want to trade the... Oh, maybe I should attack for 1 first. Yeah, I missed an attack for 1. Yeah, it's like an actual video game, Coons. It's like a Diablo 2-esque style. Not even Diablo 2 strong. It's like a third-person combat RPG game. The gameplay is legitimately very reasonable. Okay, so with the second red source drawn, what if we just Rabbit Battery? I believe it does actually have built-in controller support. I'm playing it on BlueStacks today, so I haven't tried hooking one up to my phone, but I think it does. Yeah, if we get to the end of this game and our opponent's at 1, I missed a point of damage on turn 1. It's definitely something that happened. Sick. All right, so... Showdown comes in. It's probably a Brutal Cathar out matchup. We'll bring in Reidane to smooth out that 3 spot on the curve. Valorous Stance probably not particularly good here. Would rather have Skyclave Apparition or Portable Hole? Probably Portable Hole, huh? Let's give this a go. None of our 10 1-drops here, but pretty good 2 into 3, so I think we keep. I think we definitely lead on Thalia, because this way if they have a 2-mana removal spell, they can't cast it this turn. This is a Reidane angle, so I'm gonna start by attacking. Yeah, felt like a removal spell turn. I got rewarded for playing Thalia on 2 there, since they had the power word kill. I have started putting the format in parentheses at the start of all my deck lists. I think it's helpful for viewers at home. Especially, I know there's some people that like go back through my Untapped occasionally too. I wanted to make sure that it was easily apparent to folks to do that. Sometimes I forget, but I'm trying to remember. Do they have Dispute here? Sad. Yes, yeah, Luminarch Luminarch would have been better as an end step there, correct. The alchemy change would have been beneficial. Make a shield next turn for the memes. I don't think so. Really? We're getting rid of Reidane and not my Adeline? Gosh, the fact that they prioritize getting rid of her, I think means we definitely want to put another one down, right? Thalia's a nice pickup too. Solid chunks here. Nice black-white deck. Yes, yeah, definitely. If that was definitely a We Have Meat Hook Massacre, I think. Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo. Appreciate you. Can we take a second here, by the way? I always like to call out the bad things Arena does, so I think it's equally important to call out the good things as well. For people that haven't noticed it, because I click quickly, the last played option here on the Play Blade now shows multiple recently played things, and it's such an incredible improvement. Like this, where this is, I know the first iteration of this updated Play Blade took a lot of flack, and rightfully so for little things that it messed up, but like, they've really worked the little details into a good spot. And honestly, when it first dropped, I talked about how there was a lot of potential here, and this was likely going to end up better, and I'm glad that they're working the UX out to be a spot where that's the case. Yeah, maybe they'll fix the sideboard interface at some point. Please and thank you. I assume this is dead, but gotta work through removal spells at some point. Holy gosh! They untapped with that? That's so exciting. What's to do with my hands, shit? So they can't even really meat hook my board next turn. So I think we do this. And then we'll plan to Spellbinder next turn. Alright, let's Spellbinder first, because that'll help us decide what to do with the Luminarch counter. Black-white opponent, meet trash can. Alright, we know we're sideboarding. Cathars and Stance out. 2 portable hole, 2 Reidane, 2 Showdowns in. Thanks for the follow, Bubby. Good afternoon. Easy mulligan here with no 1-drop, and then Thalia's gonna make this more expensive. We're just looking for curves. Alright, chat. If I don't draw my second land in this hand, it's because you at home didn't believe hard enough. So I'm gonna need you to believe for me, okay? Nailed it. Never didn't have it. I think we gotta do Thalia here. I started singing Journey. Eagle and Wolf understands. They get it, chat. Wow! Brutal, savage, wrecked. The 1/1 counter love here.
Finally, I'm home.
Kind of surprised to see that -2 instead of making a blocker there, but I'll take it.
Remember your training.
Feeling a little weak in the knees, chat. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my mana base. To be fair, that was more like the consequences of my keep, right? Although to also be fair, I don't know that we're winning if we mulligan to 5, so... I think I 10 out of 10 would keep again. for the follow, Burp. Oh, Twitch usernames. I think you just take the fumes here, because they can, if I make this cost 2 more, they just cast it next turn anyways, right? Attack, right? This card is so tough to play around because, like, I could just be waiting to cast a spell in my second main phase, right? A tri-modal combat trick. That's fine. Yeah, Emperor, I mean, Emperor is just a good card, right? It just, like, goes in everything. It's fine in aggro, but also good in not aggro. So we can Rabbit Battery on 1, and then Hopeful Innate put the Rabbit Battery on it on 2. Are we blocking? I think we're leaving back a blocker at this point. Emperor is notably a bit worse than the werewolves. Although I guess if we flip the werewolves now, we get to flip our Cathar also, which is nice. I wasn't ready for the Azika's Chariot to make 2 tokens, chat. I was not prepared. I think actually with the Cathar, we just pass now. Yeah, we definitely have the better wolf on the current board. I have Valorous Stance here too. I wasn't expecting them to attack with the 3/3. I'm gonna do this, I guess. They just have nothing? Seriously? I'm not gonna lie, Chad. I'm a little surprised they have nothing. Yeah, I thought like they were gonna have a trick and like I was gonna stance or Emperor or something. They just like have second Chariot, sure. When the wolf deck goes woof, something like that. Double Pope, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. Come on, cast another spell. I think I'm actually just chilling again, shit.
Remember your training.
I never thought I'd say this, but it's nice to see Azeka's Chariot being played.
May your blade strike true.
Maybe I'm supposed to put the rabbit battery on my 2/2 there. Yeah, I should have put rabbit battery here. Oh, they're just not attacking. It's good for us.
Let your blade do the talking.
He dead? Feeling kind of dead. Got him with the onboard chat. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think we're powering up the we're powering up the first strike squad here. If they level up Ranger class to 3, it might be a destroy it angle. fuck's sake. Punished for not putting the other rabbit battery on my Moonbrute. Oh, I guess it was gonna be an 8/8 anyways.
Back off.
Are dead, unfortunately. Absence and Stance matchup. Showdown sounds good. I don't want cards there. Actually, I probably don't want Thalia in this matchup, huh? I'm bringing in extra non-creature spells. The deck list is available on your screen via the deck list overlay. You can also type !deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. Most Magic channels on Twitch will have that available to you. The ! deck especially is pretty standardized on any major Magic channel. Feel good. Get to be nice and aggressive on the play here. That's where we want to be. To attack with a 4/4 next turn, or potentially 2 3/3s. Feeling like it's gonna be being on the play is very good type game. Going first is cracked, chap. I guess they could have a turn 3 Chariot, but even that's not that bad for us, right? Swank Master and Nam, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this morning. Still morning for half a second more. Okay, so we Skyclave the Chariot. Put a counter here, smash them. Close game, really. Interesting, interactive with back and forth. I think on the draw, I want a bunch of portable holes in my deck. I think being able to exile their, what's it called onto their Ramp Dorko has a lot of value. Maybe we just pivot into a bigger, mostly white deck. Like slightly higher individual quality cards, because we're much less likely to be able to run them over on when we're on the draw. Let's try this, leaning into these types of effects up here for card advantage. It's good. It was assassinating the Rotom, Slim Wenzy. Did you want to? You just said everybody else was at the Dread fight. It was getting a Rotom for free. It was free value. I feel your pain. was probably dead, right?
Me and my pack? Gather my children.
So, if I portable hole a wolf and then Adeline, I get to kill their planeswalker here? They still lost the road, huh? The peak solo queue experience.
Run free.
Cannon Gamer, thank you for the 2 years of constant support. Welcome back. Can we ship everything into here? Yeah, now I get to indestructible this, which kills their 3/3. So I effectively traded my Valorous Stance and a 1/1 for their 3/3 and their Planeswalker. It was like a good rate for us. For the record, it might actually be right to just make Legion Angels here, but making Legion Angels would mean I would have to stop drawing cards, and you're not my dad, don't tell me how to live my life. If I want to draw magic cards, I'll draw magic cards, champ. All right, so we lost the game with all the Azeka's Chariots. And we won. First strike. First strike is cracked, champ. Whoop. Clicked the wrong button. There might be something to this Emperor card. Seems pretty good. Hyperbolica. I can't say that that's one that I've heard of. Zan's Gas. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Legion Angels, so good, chat. Don't be greedy, chat. Play your Legion Angel split 2-2. Having a 4-3 that draws 2 more 4-3s is good enough. Right on time, faces. Welcome to the party. Yeah, most people who aren't me split the Angels 1-3. It's actually actual insanity. Maybe I'm not supposed to offer the Thalia for the Kami. In best of one, the 1-3 split's a little more justifiable because you're like not using the sideboard slots for anything else. But in best of 3 especially, eating 3 sideboard slots up for 1 is crazy. Hey, Sherwood, thanks for the prime. Welcome back. Boneless Wing, the Benerking King. Thank you for the almost 4 years. The Runes matchup is probably hard for this deck, I have to imagine. The Walking Leak, thanks for the follow. Thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo and played through level 10. Drop me a DM of a screenshot of your account to level 10. Be happy to gift you a sub to the channel as a thank you for that. They can't cast this one yet, but it's gonna be real scary when they can. I think we're chilling for now. Standard Runes and Medoc Massacre decks or something. Are we literally just got done playing against werewolves and I'm currently playing white aggro? You have 10 minutes to think about your statement. Yeah, feels like we're just dead here, huh? Lifelink is cheating, chat. It is entirely unfair. So I think similar to the green-red matchup, we're supposed to cut our bottom end and kind of board up on interactive elements at the bottom while having flying threats in the air to kind of go over the top on a pseudo-stabilized board. It's my setup here, I think. If you're someone who's already subbed, you just wanted to play to level 10 to help me out, don't worry about it. The game company isn't the one giving out the subs, I'm giving out the subs. But the game company does pay me for people that played through enough to get to level 10. Hashtag sponsored, hashtag full disclosure. As part of the promo. If Legion Angel was Relentless Rat so you could play any number, what would the split be? 12 in the main deck and 15 in the sideboard. something like that. Yeah, it's actually like a legitimately reasonable game. Like, it reminds me of the older school hack and slash RPGs with better graphics on the phone. Mobile gaming is really kind of wild. The amount of graphics that we get into games on cell phones these days is pretty impressive. What's going on, Ewok? Thanks for the 33 months. Yeah, the snarls in this deck look a little strange on the surface, but we're actually splashing for a bunch of 1 mana red cards, so it's pretty important to have untapped red on one. I have 2 more removal spells in my hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Generous Visitor here. It means that I have a 2/2 in play next turn for my Hopeful Innates to be attacking with. And the plan here is literally just like knock out their stuff and attack them. Hopefully whatever their next play is here gets tagged by Portable Hull or Hopeful Innate removing 1/1 counters. If they just like play out an enchantment creature here, Hopeful Innates can remove it and destroy it, and then we attack and Skyclave puts counters back on them. Plans for the summer. Nothing too crazy. It's a lot of days at the park and the pool. I love me the smell of a Lethal Emperor in the afternoon, chat.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide it like water.
Why would I play my flashcard pre-combat, chat? I just feel smart and thin and be tricky with it. Chat, there's no hope. I just had someone in my Twitter mentions talking about how Pioneer won't actually be that bad to get into on Magic Arena because they're bringing the $50 wildcard bundle to the platform. Oh no! Oh no, chat! They're actually so far broken and gone, they'll defend anything. This is why Magic Arena is so expensive, chat. It's because regardless of what they do, there'll always be someone on every social media forum. What was it? I think it was Cube April had the best post. Like, in every discussion about the Magic Arena economy, there's always that one idiot that's like, but I have a 75% win rate in draft and everything is free for me. What's the problem, peasants? Garfunkel, thanks for the Prime. I know there's a ton of different people you can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me around. Happy Tuesday. Thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo. Appreciate you. I think I am Brutal Catharing the Runeforge here, so we can then Emperor to permanently exile the Kami next turn. Although Brutal Catharing the Runeforge means if they deal with my Brutal Cathar, they get to search up another rune, which might not be good enough. Which rare lands does Pioneer have that aren't in Historic? I think it's like just the Shadow lands. Historic has all of the good lands and then some. Passing with Wander Emperor up is actually low-key kind of great with Brutal Cathar, because we very easily double spell next turn. Yeah, and like, people talk, I'll always have people in my mentions talking about how Hearthstone is cheaper than Arena. Like, when I tried to get into Hearthstone, I spent $1,200 buying cards for their 4-set standard format and didn't have everything. But dusting, yeah, exactly. But dusting. I'm about to dust this Kami transience right here, chat. Like a fart in the wind, it's about to be gone.
I'm not overconfident.
No, they didn't say dusting was not within their technological reach. They said they were just very explicitly not including dusting, which is a good thing, chat. Dusting sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think we actually just portable hole plus showdown here, right? Probably. Oh, I should have done that before I played my land. That's a huge mistake.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Thanks for the follow, Art and Garfunkel. Given the fact that you primed and followed at the same time, probably safe to guess you're someone coming over from YouTube. Either way, welcome to a live one. RMB, good afternoon. Showdown of their own. Their showdown was not particularly good. So we get to go ahead and... I think I would rather Skyclave their 1-drop than play another showdown here. Is that crazy? Because if I Skyclave their 1-drop, I can play another 3-drop from my hand too. I think I want to double spell and shrink their board presence. That's close though. Yeah, I think we want to just try and kill them. I did just decline drawing cards. I apologize. To all of my fans whom I have disappointed with my actions here today, I would like to issue a heartfelt apology. Yeah, I agree, Twitch chat. A lot of people that ask for dusting just don't understand what they're asking for. Dusting, we can snort magic cards now. Always could have .meme.
Got new moves.
1 point short or 1 point short, chat. That's fine. They should still be dead next turn. Thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo. Appreciate you. Be sure to drop me a DM of your with a screenshot of your account at level 10 to claim your free sub gift at the end of my stream. Naturalist is pretty good. I guess I don't have anything to answer my flying creature at the moment, though. I have 2 of those. Can we dust? Twitter takes 100 regular tweets to get something that's kind of interesting. That answer is one of their problems. We have a second flyer, so I think we're good here. Yeah, I think that's a good summary, Birthing Potter. Dusting is better than what the vault would be, but it's worse than 4th card protection. This white aggro deck is pretty good shit. We had played another variation of this at some point last month, I think, and it felt pretty okay then too. Good solid curve, reasonable amounts of grind. Format is in the stream title. I'm also putting A or S and sometimes H in front of historic decks, especially for standard and alchemy. Look for S's and A's if you're not sure which one we're playing, to help folks easily differentiate at a glance when they're looking at deck lists. The lack of 4th card protection on ICRs was a technical limitation, they said. So for what it's worth, they're not evil in that area, they're just incompetent. Yeah, if you click quickly, the Dark Nemesis thing is less than 20 minutes. I just want a 3/2 first striker. I'm at the promo for that one. I'll be up through the end of the week too, so if you don't have time to do and you can get to it later on, option as well. No good attacks into my first striker. Love to see it. I guess we also don't have good attacks. Thanks for the follow, Quartz Sinking Killer. Yes, some ICRs are 4th card protected and some others aren't, is accurate. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it's the Mastery track ICRs that are 4th card protected. ICRs are individual card rewards. They're the random cards you get when you get like a random rare, uncommon, or mythic. We just take the hit. We just start attacking here, huh? Oh, for winning this race into their werewolves being flipped here. I would say kill it with fire, but actually kill it with a seat of an empire, question mark? I think we just smash them, right? If we attack with everything, we hit them for 8 down to 5. So, the important thing to understand, chat, when they tell you something's not possible, it's not that their devs aren't capable or skilled or talented enough to figure it out. The issue is that they're not given adequate resources and time to do stuff like that. As is basically always the case, it's a management issue. It's not a talent issue. The people that work on Magic Arena are like, they're good programmers, most likely. Obviously, you can't say for sure, but like, they almost assuredly know their way around things to get to where we've gotten. They're low enough that they can't really attack with Chariot this turn, I don't think. Maybe? Brutal Cathar is kind of a gas draw. We just take the slasher, right? Oh, shoot. It is night, isn't it? Woof. I guess it being night means this is a 4/4 with first strike still, though, right? Yeah, I think this deck's great RMB. Our number has definitely been going up as we've been playing today. Lord Donkey Punch, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Feral Lord, thanks for the follow. I'm not already, Subus. Given the general state of the world, I don't really have particularly much to complain about. Fairly fortunate, all things considered. We're just chilling. I think a stalemate like this tends to favor my opponent's archetype in a spot like this. I just found their first creature land. I think I'm pulling a counter off of each of my innates to kill their chariot this turn. Alright, so they have some kind of spell here for the last card. Shatter Skull Smashing, maybe? One of those played out. Could have another. Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? Am I dead? Holy crap, we're dead, chat. It's actually exactly 16. Yikes. Oh, they technically could have done 2 more too, right? I guess I would have killed this before it happened. Yeah, GG, opponent. Inferno About Stars is a wild one. Their deck is much larger than I was expecting. I think that matchup seems pretty bad for us game 1. Game was a pretty good example of why we can't really get under them. I need to board up. Yeah, we had a pretty aggressive start that game, and it was just nowhere near good enough. Almost, but not quite. I think that exchange is good for me. Playing the Innkeeper to immediately just like lose the token seems great for us. Like not ramping to anything now. Yeah, we get to take the Chariot, make it cost 6, so we can take the Spellbinder, make this cost 8. At 222, you might be good on needing to play again for the season. Got a 9 days out. It might be close. You might have to win 1 or 2 more. Depends on how many people are playing. I guess the player base is kind of low right now, so you might be fine. I think we're dead, chat. I don't know that I can beat this Azeka's Chariot off the top. Just peak discard spell interaction. Yeah, well, the thing to understand is the lower you are in the rankings, the faster you will drop. And at the end of the season, more people will be playing, so you'll also drop faster in the last couple days. Or the variables you account for. My one piece of advice about setting goals related to things and incredibly variance-driven by design games like Magic is setting attainable goals is generally better. So like saying I'm gonna finish in the top 1200 is good, but while having worlds on your radar that it exists is fine, I definitely would caution. Well, sure, like, I'm not saying anything. It says what I'm saying has nothing to do with your ability to play Magic. Like, Magic's a game where the best people in the world win like 62% of their matches, right? Go on and just get Thalia down here. Wow, they were holding the removal spell too? Kinda surprises me. Wonder what other 2-drop I could have played that they would have rather exiled there rather than taking 3. No land. You love to see it, Chip. I actually think this deck's pretty decent into a lot of the meat hook decks in the format. It's one of the reasons to play it. Thalia and Spellbinder and Reidane out of the sideboard all go a long way. This could be a concession Spellbinder, speaking of. Nice hand. Shame about this, Thalia. Victorina back up 3 months ago, and the last time I played, I was casting Sphinx's Revelation. That was one of the start of me getting into competitive Magic about a decade ago. Long time ago. You actually picked a good bit of stuff to dodge. There was a lot of Magic in the middle around the advent of Fire Design that wasn't worth seeing. Format currently is in a pretty reasonable spot though. Picked a decent time to show back up. All right, so God, I honestly just want a couple of Skyclaves in my last 2 cards here. Power Roller win. Yeah, I started with New Phyrexia. I started playing casually during Odyssey block, but didn't pick up a DCI number and start doing larger tournaments until much later. This is fine. One of the other things too, RMB, if you're not familiar, if your goal is to qualify for the set championship, MTG Melee hosts regular tournaments that are direct set championship qualifiers. Like this past weekend, we hosted our Hoaglandia one, but there will be other tournament organizers hosting similar events where if you win the tournament, you get a direct invite to the set championship. So if you have availability to play in some of those tournaments on weekends, that's a good spot to set yourself up so you're not just like one and done. Yeah, we just had ours this past weekend. It'll be the last one we're hosting for a little bit, but there should be others coming up here in March and a couple at the start of April as well. MTGmelee.com, they have their tournaments that are set championship qualifiers tagged for that. There's also smaller ones that qualify you directly for the Arena Monthly tournament as well. What is Fire Design? Here we have the description. Fire Design started with Magic with War of the Spark. So everything post War of the Spark is Fire Design. It's basically a bunch of buzzwords where they kind of changed their fundamental design principles in ways that were some hits and some misses. For the follow, Philip. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. For folks that are new like Philip, thanks for dropping in. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Usually do Magic for a few hours every day. We also stream a bunch of other games. Play some Pokemon Unite and single-player story-driven stuff as well. Gosh, most of these are bad for me, huh? I think it's just Path of Peril. It's the wedding announcement, actually. They Path of Peril me here. I'm actually not that mad. I think with this draw, we just play her out and then do the tap land, because this might be a spell forest on the line. Amzam deck looks sweet. Thanks for the list, RMB. I might play that later this week. So this is definitely a spell now. We just let the angels hit the board. Let the angels hit the board. For what it's worth, chat. Alright, chat. Pop quiz. What does this attack mean? I know what it means. Do you at home know what it means? It could mean the Wanderer. It probably means Meat Hook, too. They don't have a 5th land for Meat Hook. They can't currently Meat Hook my Legion Angel. It could mean Emperor. My money's on Meat Hook, though. Especially because they, like, could have played this pre-combat, or they could have done this. Yeah, it could be the white land that deals damage. Yeah, I think they were hoping for the block plus Meat Hook. Yeah, this means they have Meat Hook Massacre. And in fact, to play around Meat Hook Massacre here, we're gonna Wandering Emperor plus give this 1/1.
We've got the edge in this fight.
So this way, if they draw the 5th land, they can no longer Meat Hook to kill Legion Angel. Yes, yeah, it also lets us build this up to play around Eiganjo, is accurate. This deck seems super good into these black-white control decks. I think that's the 3rd or 4th one we've beaten in this session. The Bugbear swing instead. Well, that fails to play around the Meat Hook that I was talking about. So I'd rather just not get Meat Hooked, or not lose my board if we get Meat Hooked. That makes sense. Feels like every deck has black right now. The control decks all have black. Is there another deck after this one? Now we're gonna chill on this deck for another 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're gonna swap over to playing some Dark Nemesis. Two magic decks a day is my plan. We've got a few alchemy decks waiting to be played. We'll be doing one a day. No, I just delete games when I'm done with them, Rufio. Especially if they're a game that offers a cloud save. A lot of games offer cloud saves, so you don't even have to keep them installed to have your save data if you want to come back to them later. Man, this is a bad matchup to be on the draw for. I think we're just supposed to do this and stance this later. I do not have a lot of digital sentimental value, no. I actually don't even know how much storage my the PlayStation has by default. Oh, it has almost a terabyte? Yeah, that should be plenty. Aggressive. B-E. Aggressive. D. Alright, so I think Brutal Cathar is worse than Skyclave against their eggs. Just want to get rid of them permanently. Same thing with Stance. This might get a little grindy, so some Showdowns are probably good here. We're going to Portable Hold too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, technically 7, 8, 9 ways to kill their Dargons, which seems like plenty. Here says 667 gigs. Maybe the 800 or whatever includes the operating system space. Yeah, it's like 700 or so. Sure. And what is up with non-Linux operating systems? I remember looking at the install footprint on Windows 10. I was like, what is going on? These people don't optimize anything anymore, chat. It's all so incredibly inefficient. Oh, somebody please think of the optimization. We're going to put a counter on the Aspirant to start here, because a lot of these decks play Spike Field Hazards, so getting things off of 1 toughness is good. Optimizing sells fewer hard drives. I mean, I think it's more just like it takes time and energy to optimize things. And modern systems are just fast enough that you just like don't have to anymore. So the Follow Reaper Wolf. Oh, look at all these ladder points we're farming up to give away later this week, chat. I will say going from playing Horizon Forbidden West to playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it is incredible how less optimized Assassin's Creed is. Like, the load times on Forbidden West are like this, and the graphics in that game are much better than Valhalla. And it's just like Valhalla's molasses in comparison. Hey, thanks for the Prime Mellow. Hope things start going a little bit better for you. The screenshot of level 10, you can send me like an Imgur link via Twitch DM. You can also send it on Twitter. Or if you have me on Discord already, you can send it there. Being made for one platform helps too. That's not true. It being made for one platform means you only have one optimization target, but you could always optimize for whatever platform you want. We are about 4 hours into 3 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's my first time touching the series. It's been fine so far. Nicole, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. I'm playing on the PS5 Toe Smasher. So I'm comparing like very directly. I think we just power this up around Meat Hook here. Well, that is a handful of magic cards. The good news is we just get to outsize this Meat Hook, so I think I take their Emperor here. Just attack. To put it bluntly, PC gaming is trash. I absolutely despise playing games on PC compared to playing them on console. At the risk of starting a fight. I greatly prefer playing video games with a gamepad compared to keyboard and mouse. And gamepad support on PCs is very hit or miss. I'm gonna bet Pulsar there doesn't have children. I really just like that my console is designed to play video games, and it does just that, and it does it really well. For example, the last video game I played on PC was the Riot RPG game, and that game had a ton of issues with full screen versus not, and grabbing control of my mouse, and like I actually had my stream pseudo crash in it because it grabbed control of my graphics interface in the way that it does, and it's nice to just know that is just gonna work on my PlayStation. We played a little bit of Cavalry Rider in Alchemy in a more mid-rangey shell, and I didn't really like it there. I want to try and play the Cavalry card inside of a more aggressive shell, like maybe as a top end, and a deck like this could perhaps be okay.
Harms my people must contend with me. Strike fast and strike hard.
Angry just saved this, right? Someone mentioned Steam has bridged the gamepad gap. That's definitely true. But there's also a lot of PC games that aren't on Steam, and trying to like make my Pro controller work or my PS5 controller work with a non-Steam game is a real challenge a lot of the time. All right, I think we just start building up another threat here. Try and go wide.
Let your blade do the talking.
If you're playing with a game on Steam, the Pro controller is literally just plug and play on Steam. You just like USB it into your computer and Steam will pick it right up. Your ability to use a Switch Pro controller on non-Steam games will vary from impossible to many hours of trying to make things work. Someone asked would I rather play Arena on a console. No, obviously not. Come on now, chat. It's the same right I'd never want to play Arena on my cell phone. It just doesn't sound pleasant at all.
May your blade strike true.
Oh, you know what? I should have put the counter on this, right? Maybe. I guess I'm playing this out, so this way if they Emperor, these two can kill them. That's definitely not true, Toastmaster. Like, Windows has built-in better support for, like, the Xbox controller to work on a lot of games, as opposed to the Pro controller and the PS5. Like, Windows could definitely build the support that Steam has into Windows as an operating system. I don't know that I sequenced my turns correctly around all their stuff here. The second meat hook was a bit of a beating. Are they dead?
Remember your training.
Yeah, right? There's the 4. Okay. I mean, as a consumer, I don't really care, Toastmaster. See, and what you're describing there, Toastmaster, is why Microsoft being a monopoly in the operating system thing is shitty for consumers. You just described why Windows and Microsoft are trash and awful, and why if I could do my job streaming from Linux, I would still be streaming from Linux. It's like, I've I've complained about this before, but I literally can't use the sleep feature on my streaming computer because every time I put Windows to sleep, miscellaneous USB devices just stop working properly. My capture card has audio distortion, other things just like flat out don't work. It's just like, it's such a bad joke. Bring in Skalds and Reidane here. Oh, we're cutting Brutal Cathar in this matchup is what we're cutting, right? Yeah. Bring a couple of Skyclaves. Liquid VD and JWM, thanks for it. I streamed from Linux for a long time, but I picked up a couple of hardware peripherals that just didn't support it, so I had to switch off, which was unfortunate, but is what it is. For people that are new to the channel and not familiar with me, I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in mathematics. I did software development and process animation at a Fortune 50 company for a little while before my streaming stuff took off here. Contributed to a lot of open source projects over the years. Not really involved in those communities anymore today, but was for a very long time. My GitHub has a bunch of very old code on it at this point, if you're interested in the types of projects I used to do. Now the only software development stuff I do is I occasionally write simple tools to automate processes for myself. Python is great. Python is just lovely, chat. I like being able to use the sleep feature on my computer because it saves me from having to reopen and reposition all of my web browser windows and my file manager folders that I need to have open for work, and like my Notepad++ with my tabs open to the right spot. The lack of the sleep feature working on Windows costs me like 5 minutes of time every morning when I start my day. It's real annoying. It's gonna keep growing this to outsize Meathook Massacre, I think. What do I do with Notepad++? I have a couple of text documents in there that I use for note-taking on different things. Reminders of things to do after work. Have you tried Hibernate? It's so much better. They're the same thing. The sleep function is Hibernate on Windows these days. For what it's worth, for people in chat that are lamenting sleep never works, it works flawlessly on Unix. The current sleep function on Windows is a sleep hibernate hybrid, Insane Monkey. So no, it was not so bad that it was removed. It's literally big. They just stopped differentiating between sleep and hibernate. Alright, so I'm gonna get 2 counters when I cast things. What things am I casting? It's really sad that this hit all 3 and 4 mana things. And maybe I should have waited to cast this for the turn. I think it's just Skyclave, take their restoration. Try and keep this out of Meathook range. They get Meathook for 3 next turn with the Thalia. I'll go ahead and put the second counter on the Adeline here. So that way she doesn't die to another Meathook next turn. I think I'm going to take this counter and spread it out, just diversifying my threats again.
what my power is for annihilation.
I wanted to put the counter on Adeline so they couldn't meet hookers, Derek. I think I'm doing this. I'm just sending these at their face. Yeah, we have enough power and toughness here that I don't think they can really afford to be double blocking. Because like if they double block here and chump here, they still take 8 and go to 1. They'll gain a little bit back, but
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
thanks for the follow, Chiller. Afternoon, Barrels.
Aren't I the generous one?
Ha! They're dead. Not my job to figure it out. Go. I let on the Thalia so that way we could rule out 2 mana removal spells. Yeah, they're just dead, right? They block 1, 2, 3, and they take 4, 5, 6. I guess they could have a ray of enfeeblement. Yeah, the playing the Thalia out meant they only had ray as an out for interaction. Yeah, honestly, playing this deck into these black control decks really makes me understand why ray is in this format. It feels like if they don't see a ray or two, they'll have a hard time. $200,000 for law school. That's a lot of dollary dues. I only have my master's degree because it was free, chat. And by free, I mean I still had to like go to school and spend my time there, but the school paid for me to be there. Gosh, if any of these were a 2-drop, it seemed to be so good. Decent 5. Might be inclined to keep the Legion Angel if we had a 3rd land, but just a good chance we don't get to it on curve, so it won't be good enough. This is a good example of why this deck is playing Snarls instead of slow lands. Our red spells being 1-drops mean that we want to get to them ASAP. Start building this up. mid-range control deck. Maybe they're missing a color. Kamigawa lands push out a lot of the spell lands. No, not really. It's definitely a mix of the two. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of building mana bases in both Standard and Alchemy is actually pretty interesting. They put a lot of really good utility lands into the format. Sure. Wishing I would have kept, wishing I would have kept, what's it called? The, Legion Angel? Decide if they want a 2-for-1 the Adeline. We have a second one in hand, so we're obviously super okay with it. This being played out pre-combat meant that she has 5 attacks, so if they double block, we get to trade 2, which is nice. Someone crunch for 5. Okay. Sure. Stance doesn't seem very good here. Showdown seems fine. Rabbit Battery is going to get met with resistance. It's portable holes on the draw. Be a little bit more interactive. I think I'd rather have Legion than Showdown. It's close though. Yeah, Angel's definitely better into Thalia's as well. Skalds in general is a little ambitious into Thalia's potentially, but I think they're just good enough in the mid to late game that you want them in. See if Spellbinder can disrupt long enough to buy time for Legion Angel to take over. Well, shit. Vanisher Priest is a hell of a magic card, Chip. If they want to spend their turn doing this as opposed to playing out another 2-power creature, I'm pretty into that. Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo. Appreciate you supporting the sponsor. Feel free to DM me a screenshot of your account at level 4, and I'd be happy to gift you a sub to the channel. Oh, that lets them flip this over. That's pretty good. I guess at the same time, that transform means that this doesn't take something from me now. I drew the 5th land for the Skyclave Apparition. Rip. Thanks, Sid. Are we dead? Wait, they chose not to make it a creature? I've
learned much during my travels. Let me show you. My judgment is final.
Attacking with Skyclave is smart. So if I play 2 spells, my opponent gets to flip their Moonrage Brute.
Years of training. Let your blade do the talking.
Because this isn't currently exiling anything, because it's night. On this has just been so good. If their brute took my Thalia, I wouldn't have enough mana to do that, Beansy. But yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to make that line assuming... Maybe I'm just supposed to make the line you're suggesting as hoping they don't take the Thalia. That's probably accurate. That's fine. We'll get him game 3 on the play. They drew like it was the Banisher Priest mirror match, and my opponent drew all their Banisher Priests and we did not draw any, so like we died. Sometimes it do be like that. It's good enough on the play. These could technically be spells. We have Thalia into Adeline. Yeah, the opponent sniffed out our Seat of the Empire really well that last game. They played well. Banisher Priest shall continue until morale improves, Chip. It's a shame I didn't have third untapped white here, because if I did, we could have Eiganjo'd for just one, because we have 2 legendary creatures in play right now. Being on the play might be enough tempo for us to beat a handful of Banisher Priests this game. Just before the disaster. I don't know why these cost less to do when... I don't know why these cost less to do when you have legendary things in play. Like, it's very, very silly. Ooh, we're up to 19 out of the first 20-point goal. So everybody who's checked out the Nemesis promo, we're going to play one more match of Magic. Now we're going to swap over to playing some Dark Nemesis for the last couple hours of the stream. It's a pretty amusing hack and slash RPG game. I was pretty impressed with the graphics as far as mobile gaming goes. I think, and this probably says something about why Magic Legends failed. I think Dark Nemesis actually has better graphics on my mobile device than Magic Legends had on the PC. Major oof. I think we Rabbit Battery, and then we can innate into put the Rabbit Battery on an attack for 2. What did my Energizer Bunny ever do to you, opponent? Defeat a grave for air, put 1 counter with your 1 cards, returns on his hand. Use the battlefield, return 3 target lands from your graveyard to your hand. Well, that's a giant brick wall for us. The old Slowgark. Opponent's deck seems like yes. I think we're dead. I don't think we can win this game at this point, but I also have no idea what their deck is doing, so I kind of want to see a few more spells out of them before we pack it in. Owner Willid, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Trees are mighty.
We're playing Invoke Despair too. That seems hella greedy. The rest of it seems reasonable. Playing Invoke Despair in your 3-color deck with... yeah. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe they're doing something a little bit different than they had when they played against you. Reidane sounds fantastic. Showdown sounds good. I guess this gets bigger technically. Stance might be okay. I like Stance more than Brutal Cathar. Could protect our threat from a removal spell too. Alright, let's try this. I think with no second white and no 2-drop, we unfortunately have to mulligan this. Okay, I'm gonna take a do-over on our last match before Dark Nemesis. Sometimes magic happens. Today will be the only day we're doing a stream segment, Logan, but the promo for a free sub / to support my content will run through the end of the week. So if you don't have time to do it today, you can do it later on. I don't think you're locked to a server, Beansy. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure my server number it offered me a server selection every time I logged in. Get this building up. Abzan life game? I think we just start going wide. Well, this is standard, so collecting company's not legal here. Just get to go ahead and we get to be the one with the Banisher Priest for a change. For those of you Magic players that are newer in the audience, I keep referring these to these cards as Banisher Priests because that was the original name of the most iconic, I guess, of this kind of templating where it's a 2/2 for 3 that comes into play and gets rid of a thing. And they updated it to this single trigger type one, I believe. I'm gonna go ahead and play Spellbinder out here before attack, so that way Adeline's a little bit bigger if they don't chump block it. Am I okay with trading this as a 3/3 for all of these? I think the answer is yes. Everybody says. Alright, so I know we ran them over that game. But in the post-board games, I think we want to bring in more removal spells. They're a very synergy-based deck, so we basically want to stop them from assembling their key pieces together. So Portable Hole and Skyclave both seem excellent. Little bits of aggressive damage, something like Battery doesn't seem particularly good. They don't have a lot of non-creatures, so Thalia's not very disruptive. I think we board in Showdown to help us find our removal more consistently. See how this goes. Stan would really like a 2-drop, but I think it's keepable. Alright, chat. It's exactly, what do you get the white-red aggro player for Christmas who has everything? It's exactly what I wanted. So having a 2-drop after this is valuable because it gives you the 1/1 counter on it. Eat your heart out, Watch Wolf. A second Showdown. Second Showdown is not bad. Alright. Don't show me 2 sweepers. Okay, chat, let's say farewell to farewell. Because they're either gonna be... We don't have them dead by the time they have 8 mana, we deserve to get wrathed. Oh! Oh, this isn't even the buffed. In my brain, this was about to scry for them, but we're playing the Boomer Magic format. Completely forgot that this was Boomer Magic, chat. Yeah, they made this card better in Alchemy. Marginally. It scries if it doesn't draw you a card. To be added to the counter in the corner, you have to play through to level 10. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how quickly you go through the prompts. I like soaking in whatever story these games are doing, so I probably played for like a half hour reading through everything. Good job not letting your real arch nemesis, the auto tapper, get you, right? Played around the auto tapper successfully. Just to really drive home what a bully we are, chat. We're gonna portable holder board. So long, farewell, I'll see you and good day. We are unable to portable hole our own things, saving us from ourselves on multiple occasions. Okay, so to give a quick wrap on this deck before we slide along, I actually think this deck is probably one of, if not the best thing you could do some laddering with right now. It's just got some incredibly aggressive draws that allow you to run people over, and then with good interaction like Wandering Emperor and Stance and Cathar and Spellbinder, and then even more out of the sideboard in your post-board games, it really feels like you have a lot of play in most places. I think this deck especially feels like it excels into the Meat Hook Massacre style control decks. Between your Thalias and your Spellbinders and then Reidanes out of the sideboard, you're incredibly disruptive into them, and then things like your Creature Lands and Wandering Emperor and Legion Angel gives you a lot of rebuild potential to play through those sweepers, even if they happen. Thanks for the follow the mask. So I like this a lot. I think the shell's very good. I think when I first saw this deck, the red splash looked a little strange because you're like mostly just playing it for 1-drops, but the reality of the red splash is not only are these 1-drops pretty good, they're better than the other white 1-drops you can be playing in the format, but this Den of the Bugbear is really, really good. It's easily the most aggressive creature land in the format. I think it's much better than Faceless Haven would be in a slot like this, especially when you factor in that it mixes well with these as well. Yeah, I don't think you can play something like Thundering Raiju in this deck, because the red-red's just a little bit rough to get consistently. And honestly, the other 4-drops we already have are just so good. Like, you can't play too many 4s in an aggressive shell, and both Legion Angel and Wandering Emperor and Showdown are just so powerful. Chat, when I tell you something is mathematically improbable, an appropriate response is never, it's been fine for me or I've been running well. Like, if you want to show me that mathematically, I could even, in fact, hold on, before we move over, now that I've timed someone out for disagreeing with my math, let's take a look here. Population size, 60. How many red sources are we playing? We've got 8, 12, 13. Sample size, turn 4 on the play. I've drawn 3 extra cards, so I've seen 10 cards total. I want 2 red sources. You're 60, well, nice. You're 69% to have red turn 3 on the play, or turn 4 on the play, which means in, what, 3 out of 10 games, you're not going to be able to cast your 4-drop on curve if you have 4 lands? Like, that is not an appropriate fail rate, in my opinion. If you're fine with not casting your spell 3 out of 10 games when on turn 4 on curve when you need your powerful 4-drop, more power to you. In my opinion, a 30% fail rate is too high. Quick maths, chat. 30% fail rate is too high.